All right, how's it going, everyone? Want to thank everyone for hanging around and coming by. This is going to be the second series of the evening. We're in the quarterfinals now of the Helios eSports and Logitech Gaming Season 1 tournament, sponsored by both Logitech G as well as GameFox over here on Helios at twitch.tv/Helios eSports. We're at it. I'm Coddle Guy. With me this evening, and you're going to break my cherry here. It's my first time casting with one of my good new friends. It's E-Hug Rayboris. Rayboris, how are you doing this evening?
What's up? I'm glad to be here. First time, like you said, casting with you, so it should be fun, entertaining, as always.
Rayboris achieved one of few things you can do. He is Season 1 NEL's champion. And holding strong to that.
Yeah, league's dead, guys.
So
I can hold that title.
Hopefully he'll just hold that title for a long time. But this works out great because we have a matchup here. It's going to be between Bo3 Fiddy as well as No Earthspirit, also known as PssT, Pool Sorcery Some Tangos. So these are both North American teams. There's also a lot of them have been farting around as well in the NEL, right, Boris? I'm sure you're familiar with some of these faces. Is that right?
Yeah, I know. I used to be on a team with PssT. I played against Relic a bunch of times. I've played on a team with One, who's Risk player, a long time ago in Dota 1. So I know a bit of people. Played, Dire Tide with Narok. That guy is like the worst. Don't Dire Tide with him.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just kidding.
No, these are great. These are a lot of hidden gems in the NA Dota scene. There are a lot of really strong, solid players. Great talent. I know one of the things I can think of is Relic is probably one of the better mid lane players you can get on the NA scene. He did beat out RTZ in a 1v1. I was there for it. Props to him and his null tailsmans. But with that said, let's finally get into the match. We're already working well through the draft. Not much new here. We're seeing a lot of the typical pickups. No Earthspirit's going to grab up that Alchemist right away, and also the Visage. These are two very common pickups. I know Alchemist did receive a bit of a nerf last patch in 6.8, but not enough to really hinder his viability in the game. His stun duration is still the same. Yes, it doesn't have damage over time through the air, but as long as you're able to time it properly, it's still an effective tool and a great ganking ability. Plus, you always have him to fall back on as a carry if you want to change things up as the draft goes on. Visage himself, excellent support. And then look at this. No Earthspirit actually go a little old school here. They're going to go grab the Darkseer for the offlane. Ryu, how do you feel about Darkseer now being picked up in this game? Someone we don't see very often.
Well, if it's like the thing. It's kind of like a hit or miss. If you can get these kind of like wombo combo, whatever one you want to call it, and you get that Alchemist stun on 2-3 heroes, then you're gonna win a team fight or the crush. That's not what's gonna be coming up. But if you don't do it, it's because the vacuum has like a 30-second cooldown. You're basically wasting his best spell for nothing. So you have to make sure you properly do things. So it's really good still, really good offlaner, and see what happens.
Yeah, he matches up pretty nicely. Right now, it seems his opposing lane partner might be the Nature's Prophet, but we still have a little bit of a draft ahead of us. They could change things up. For about 350, they pick up that Queen of Support Crystal Maiden, as well as Nature's Prophet and Doom. So I'm predicting hopefully a little bit of early aggression there. Crystal Maiden typically is one of the leading fronts as far as picking up a smoke and adding a lot of pressure to the mid game of No Earthspirit, but we have yet to see who their mid laner might be. But they do grab the Slardar, which I am a big fan of. I mean, there's a lot of good things he works out, especially in this kind of draft. Amplified damage is already so great on its own. Minus 10 armor at level 6 is huge. No one at level 6 is even going to have 10 armor, so it works out so nicely, ripping apart. And then his bash, I believe, is moved up to 100 bash damage, and now the Blink Dagger costing no mana. His sprint costs no mana. Slaughter is a guy who doesn't have a lot of mana to work with, and now his game just got a whole lot easier. And that now it will make Doom and Nature's Prophet second guess even the thought of picking up a Shadow Blade. So I'm a big fan of Slardar. But for about 350, they grab the Natures, they grab the Doom. They're gonna hopefully think about another support and then possibly a strong mid lane. Ryan, do you have any predictions here about what about 350 might need in their mid lane game or perhaps their late game?
Depends on where they want to run their Doom. If it's going to be mid or carry, probably. They're going to have Nature Prophet off lane, so they could either pick a tempo controller, which they probably need, but they banned out Puck for themselves, and um, wanted to talk to more about the like acid spray along with the Slardar,
Mm-hmm.
and Alchemist like is pretty good at farming kind of fast if you just leave him alone too. Depending on, I think you want to give the levels to Visage, but you'll have a medallion too, so that's gonna be
Yeah.
like up to 20 armor. So.
And then early Roche if they like it. And they're on the dire side, so
Sure.
expect them to take control of that Roche probably really early in the game. It puts a lot of pressure now on About Tree Fiddy to try to scout it out a lot. Luckily, they have the likes of a Nature's Prophet who's pretty good at scouting things and having good map awareness as it is. Now they move on, and for their late game, they actually go Morphling, which is someone else that's a bit of a throwback to the latest Dota. A lot of people thought that maybe Morphling would make a new presence now. His recent change in 6.8 was the ability to use abilities and cast spells and items while waveform. We hadn't seen anyone really take advantage of that yet. A lot of people thought that maybe with the pickup of an ethereal blade, rather, it would make his priority as just like a quick burst down hero that much more significant. Ryu, do you have any experience on hand about playing a Morphling and how well he's going to work into this new meta style?
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, it's basically a lot what a lot of people said. He takes too long to get started. You basically do need 2 items for him to be useful. You have to get the Lincoln so you can flash farm, and then you have to get another item where he can actually fight like the Blade afterward. So if they can survive till late game, they have Nature Prophet, Doom, and Morphling. I think they might secure it, depending on what the carry for Earthspirit is. But he just needs too much to. But he is a really good laning hero though, because you could just survive anything with your morph, and you have a really aggressive wave form after like hitting. So CM plus Morphing was actually a really good lane, coupled with something else.
Yeah, I like Morphing a lot. Just like you said, he's going to be very item dependent in the in the early part of the game. You want to get up that Lincolns pretty early. You want to get up some sort of foundation to work with before you can even begin that late game snowball process. So we'll see if About to Fiddy can work on making a lot of space for Morphling to work with. And luckily for him, he has the waveform to get it out of any sort of jam that might approach him earlier in the game. We're getting ready right now. We're working into some reserve time of No Earthspirit as they go for the last and final pickup, which I would hope to be maybe a strong mid lane presence. Obviously, that Invoker being banned right away. I feel like Invoker has quickly become the new common ban. I know a lot of people have been saying that since 6.8, there hasn't really been any solid permaban in this patch. I mean, it's been pretty versatile, maybe over a little 50% for a hero here and there, maybe the Visage, but I've been seeing a lot of Invoker banned up. I know you play Invoker a lot. I think I saw like 3 different people playing Invoker lately, so it's just he's such a good versatile hero. But enough about Invoker. Viper is going to be the last pickup here. He looks like it will be a strong mid lane presence here. Viper's notorious for having a lot of strong survivability, able to pick up that Agnum Scepter, maybe even the Mechanism earlier in the forefront, plus the help of his corrosive skin. He can take a beating and keep coming for more. Plus you got to consider the fact that with that Viper Strike, it might be able to shut down the Morphling and especially put a lot of pressure if he doesn't get that Lincoln Sphere. So now with the Viper out on the field, what do you think About Tree Fiddy's options are as far as in the mid lane contesting that? And they go with an Undying. So talk about the mid lane real quick and what it looks like the matchup might be here.
It's gonna be Doom versus Viper, or unless they go back to TI2 roots, which would be Morphling middle. Risk player definitely no. I think I don't actually know who plays what. I know Risk player always used to play carry. So I think he would definitely go bottom, and I guess the 2 probably plays middle or something. And there's another pause in a Dota.
Yep, that's how we do it right off the bat. We got the game underway. We're going to go ahead and quickly undo our fly and get a quick piss on before we get the game started. But while the 2 steps out and visits the John, we'll go ahead and roll through some introductions here. And Ryu, you are my guest this evening, and I don't want to have to show you up front. So I'll let you start off with the first introduction.
Okay.
You can take your time. We're in a pause right here. So please feel free to clear the lungs, warm up the pipes. All right, I'm going to let you start with the dire side. This is going to be Ban Earthspirit, all right? Oh, you don't like that? What, you don't like those names? Oh,
no, all right, I can do it. All right, we have Alchemist. Is that Enzo? Or Did you confirm that for me?
Yes, actually, that young strapping gentleman is going to be Knave. N-A-V-E, Knave.
Knave, okay. Knave playing the Alchemist, Fenith playing the Slardar, we got Relic, Playing the Viper, fan of Soyeon, playing the Visage, and last hit Magic, playing the Darkseer.
Very nice. Meanwhile, we have over on the other side, about 350 is going to be your Radiant team here. Mr. Bathroom Break himself is Dota the 2, and right now he's propped up on this Doom. Right behind him, we have Mr. Chicken MC playing your Furion, aka Nature's Prophet. Number 1, aka Risk Player, as Ryu Boris said before, will be playing that old school Morphling right there. Mr. Derp Derp, the captain and head of this squad, I believe, is playing your Undying. And finally, Nayrok is going to be your support, Crystal Maiden. How'd you like that? It's a pretty good intro, right?
It was good. You almost beat me, but
Like maybe a
nothing
7?
like the original, you know.
Whatever.
Wait, what is that? Is that Riggy? Ricky?
Whatever.
Riggy?
Signing
Riggy?
maps, throwing dollar bills, but I think it's time to go here. There we go. 3, 2, 1.
Alright.
This isn't Peruvian Dota. We don't need all the extra pauses here. Let's just get the action rolling right away.
Jeez.
All right, well, let's go ahead and talk now about what kind of lane setup we're going to be seeing here. We got to go through the draft and how each hero will function in the game, but now they actually need to take on the assignment of throwing what hero where. It looks like Earthspirit are going to be rolling through this top forest right now, going to stay nice, quietly, and comfortable, while about 350 are going to roll in the bottom lane. A classic 2-1-2 possibly here. Nayrok is going to be the babysit right now for Morphling. This is going to be a pretty defensive setup as it is. Mid lane, we have the Derp Derp Undying. Ryu, I typically don't get to see Undying played mid lane. Is this something that you've seen in the past, or that can be relatively common?
I've actually never seen that, but it's okay because the Doom is just gonna jungle anyways.
Yeah. Well,
So I mean, if Doom doesn't actually get like what is that creep called? Satyr. If he doesn't get the Satyr for the heal region, the Doom's just gonna get like raped middle. But if you keep trading HP blows for the Viper, you could actually stay in lane a little bit better. It's still gonna be hard though for the Undying.
We've been seeing a lot of weird things already in the Helios tournament that's made the ticket purchase of 99 cents well worthwhile. Last night, for example, in our first game matchup, we had a Meepo pickup, and it ended up being the first competitive Meepo win in 2014, so that's pretty swell. And in the second game, they ended up rolling with a level 1 Roshan. So a lot of interesting plays, and this Undying mid lane keeps the trend going. He's going to block it out, and he's going to match up to Viper. I have to say I don't like this matchup whatsoever. So you're saying that Undying will possibly have to rely on a little bit of assistance from the Doom jungle for this Viper?
Yeah. Can you put your delay like 2 minutes for the game?
Delay 2 minutes for the game?
It makes sure the game's delayed. It isn't.
I don't know if I'll be able to delay too much of the game of OBS. We don't have the partnership ability that I know of, so we'll have to roll with it as is. Hopefully it's not too much of a problem. Are you worried about someone watching the game as it is?
No, I was just told that maybe an admin wants to talk to you about it. Not exactly sure. Top lane though. Visage is going to be top.
Action going on early. They get the long grave chill on Chicken MC, but he already sees it coming with a little bit of that game sense and will step back. I'm sure at the conclusion of this game we'll address any sort of delay situation, but let's not break our mojo here. Let's keep the ball rolling. And Undying stepping right up to the Ancient Cliff area, leaving Doom in the mid lane. I'll throw up your last two denies, and you can see Viper is immediately leading the front right now at 5 and 5. He's got a nice solid chunk of that first creep wave, both denied and picked up, and it will be last hit magic here on the bottom lane. Darkseer, he's matching up against this Morphling, and Morphling's happy to get that extra space while Crystal Main hangs nearby. She is just so good at using that Frostbite skill to pick up that extra jungle farm, getting all the extra gold they could ever want. Undying making another rotation, so I'm figuring this. Do you think this is going to be committed to a bottom tri lane and they're just doing an audible trade, throwing the Doom in the mid lane now, or is this just kind of a roaming Undying?
That was just to get him to level 2 while the Doom just jungled to get the creeps in, clear the camp real quick. So it's nice because yeah, you get a free level on your support and you get free farm in the jungle for a second on the Doom.
I never got to say this right at the conclusion of the whole drafting phase, but and I don't mean to like throw another question your way so sudden, but based on the draft alone, on paper, who would you put your rares on this game before too much happens?
If they do really well in the early game, I think Dire should win this. But if it goes late, I think Radiant. On how well the Dire execute this.
All right, all right. Good to know, good to know. In my book, it seems, yeah, a little too close early in the game. We'll have to see how each of them can position themselves and execute early rune aggression here at the top. The two will be able to grab that regen rune. Yum, yum, yum. Head right back to the mid lane and try to contest this Viper who's taking control early. He's 15 and 11 now, matching well above the two. And it looks like this Alchemist just kind of opted to do an extra pull here. Is this possibly for himself, or I would assume maybe he's holding it back for his carry ally to build up the extra bit of farm here. Meanwhile, bottom lane, just kind of more of the same. Darkseer throwing out those early ion shells to get whatever relative farm he can, hanging close enough to get a little extra XP. We'll probably see him commit to this bottom lane for a good chunk of time. Typically, you won't see him build up even into a vacuum until later. His prime potential, I would say personally, wouldn't really be reached until his level 8, maybe level 9 mark, and then he can really get the fireworks rolling in any sort of potential Doom fight. Now, with the Doom grab here for Bo3 Fiddy, as the team fight does engage, he becomes level 60. Now he's getting a spanking in the mid lane from the Viper. But what I was going to roll with is, who do you think the two is going to want to target with that Doom when the team fight does roll about? What do you think will be his prime target in shutting down with the Doom?
He should probably, he doesn't need to get a blink, he could get a Shadow Blade, but he should definitely shut down the Darkseer, because Darkseer is their tempo controller, or the Slardar, because if the Slardar blinks in, all they need is a good vacuum and blink crush, and the team fight should be not won, but it should be a really good setup.
I like the team coordination they're already throwing out in Bo3 Fiddy. They call a vocal out for the top rune, and Chicken MC quickly TPs in and gets it. And man, Relic just kind of laying a good pain train right here in the mid lane, laying it out hard and giving the Doom a bit of a rough time. I think Relic is going to be really sitting pretty here earlier in the game. I think he has a safe hold in this mid lane. And Doom's going to need a bit of an audible play here to help himself out. He's going to take a little bit to get to level 6, but I think once Viper gets there as well, I don't know. Who do you think will get the upper hand? Do you think they're going to try to just head ram each other at their level 6 mark and see who can duke it out? I feel the Viper would have the edge with that extra slow. He'd be able to kite around the Doom and get away from any sort of danger.
Depending on their items and if any supports rotate in over, if it's like a one-on-one, Doom could actually kill him if he gets a good rune, or if like I said, just one support rotate over with the Doom. Whereas like the Viper also needs another lockdown, because if he just Scorched Earth runs away while his ulti, so he'll still probably survive.
I would hope that maybe around the time Doom does reset level 6, he's being really clever right now, throwing out the twist, yeah, up on the hill, harassing the Viper, forcing Relic to get back. Bit clowny right there, but it gets the job done to create a little bit extra space and step up, get that last hit, and move on back. But no smoke anything on the Crystal Maiden just yet. I would hope as Doom gets close at level 6, they'll want to engage. But speaking of which, a smoke has already been popped for PssT. They're moving around the backside, hanging up on top of the hill here. The two will have to be careful. He might get caught out. Doesn't have much of an escape mechanism. Rather, he has the Doom. He'll have to pick one. They're going to pull the trigger. Viper Strike to go out. Immediate TP, but it will be shut down with the stun. Now they're going to town. Doom laid out. He wants to get one in return, but he will end up falling. Now Nerez, will he get denied? No, he won't need to get denied. I think he should be able to survive this one out, and all will be well. They do have Soyon nearby in case the deny is needed, and he will be able to safely walk away. So nice pick off. Finally, our first kill in this matchup, Ryu.
Top lane on the Slardar.
Yep, they're making a move. Finith, they rotate in. Chicken MC with a nice TP to go in front, and they end up shoving him to the side and pick him down with a couple of right clicks. Slardar ends up falling.
He just got his Midas too, and it was on the courier, and he didn't get to use it.
So now it's more time for that Midas to be down. A little bit of farm that he will be missing, unfortunately. But Bo3 Fiddy throw themselves on the board and make it 1-for-1. It'd been a slow game up to this point, Ryu, or about 6 minutes and 30 seconds in before the first kill went off. Do you think it's just how the teams match up, or maybe these players have a bit more respect for each other and they're kind of taking this game a little more serious and not doing anything too aggressive?
No, they just needed their ultis up online to make something happen, and once the supports rotated from top, that was an easy to go for them to go on the Slark. So it's just all about the rotations that were being made, and they're just doing it really well.
And they're doing a good here. I think Relic wants to try to bring it back here in the mid lane. Maybe think about going on another kill. He's starting to pelt him down slowly. Meanwhile, we do have Darkseer making the rotation all the way up to the jungle. Now, this does leave Morphling with a lot of space in this bottom lane, farming away. He's already second tier, working to be the top tier CS bringer. He's about 49, now 50. He takes the top CS. Now, this isn't good, Ryu. You're leaving Morphling with a lot of time to build up those two crucial items. Is this a big mistake?
Mid
But
lane.
meanwhile, mid lane, they are making a jump on Relic. The Doom will fly out, and now Relic's on the run to the south. Can he turn the corner on this tree and get away? It is not looking good. He'll be able to step away briefly, but the Doom ends up taking him down, and now about to fit it, pull ahead 2-1. And their delicious late game Morphling has been slowly farming away in this bottom lane, and now about to pick up a tier 1. This is not looking good early, I'd say, for PSST.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, they're doing really good rotations, and because their play game isn't really that good, that's why you saw the Slardar pick up the Midas. But
Dire's bottom tower is
doing
under
that
attack.
is actually hurting instead of going like a fast blink dagger, because he could then tempo control the game better. So I don't know. They want to have somehow secure their late game with Midas, but I don't know if it's worth it. We'll see.
Yeah, they might be putting a little bit of faith here in Finnith to pull together some sort of late Slardar game, but I would definitely have to favor a more late game Morphling over the Slardar. Now, if they manage to lock someone down and catch him out, they have all that delicious minus armor to rip apart the Morphling, but with that stat maneuverability, he'll be someone that's going to be very hard to take down. Maybe they could sneak him some early Roshan takedowns, which they will have the ability to do so in the relatively near future, I would say. Maybe they could try to pull it back, but a bit of a rough start for them. Now the two happy to move on nearly level 8, farming up in the mid lane. Phase Boots, it looks like he might be going the early mech pickup for his team.
Top lane's getting pressured by the tier 1. This should maybe go down unless there's TP supports. It looks like they don't want contest at all. That'll be
They
second
hand over
tier 1 tower.
another tier 1 tower that's going to be extra gold to go right in the pocket of the Morphling, who, by the way, is still contently farming down here in the bottom lane. Now will be dueling up against one of the best 1v1ers, Relic, who will now step on back and give that little extra space, as it looks like they're not really worried here in the top lane. They're going to continue to test things out. They're giving Finnith a run for his money here in the top lane. That tombstone, from personal experience, I can tell you, is extremely annoying. A real pain in the ass when you throw that down on the field and all those zombies come out. Rotations now to the mid. They want to clear out all tier 1s, and they should be able to get it with ease, as the rest of PSST are rolling through the jungle, taking the long road to the mid lane. They should be able to get it here. Nice deny, though, however, for Soyon, as he uses the familiar and picks it off at the last second. 10 minutes, 30 seconds in, that's all tier 1s down, while PSST have yet to take their first tier 1. So they're missing out on a lot of gold. What do you think they can do now to start getting a little more momentum in their
Dire's
favor?
bottom tower is under attack.
Well, they need some map control first, and or sneak a Roshan, like you said, because they're losing map control against a Furion and split pushing, replicating Morphling, which he won't start using until he's level 12. But once that split push comes into play too, it's going to be really hard for them to get back in the game if they don't acquire some map control soon.
Yeah, they're doing a great job holding their own, taking advantage of all the momentum they're getting so far. And I even like the idea that they're throwing out some wards early, right over here by the Roshan pit, not going to allow them to go for that, backdoor, not backdoor, but a back pocket strat of trying to get that Rosh early. Also, what I wanted to say is we took a moment to look over the gold graph. Yeah, we got it well up over 4K already for about Fiddy, as they take down all 3 towers, looking to go for more. I guess they feel so confident. I mean, typically with this kind of team and the Morphling, who's so good as the game goes on, they want to do this bit of delay. But meanwhile, he's actually going into a tussle here with Finnith. Tries to man up a bit right here, but Finnith, I think he knows he wouldn't be able to take him out in the long run. Will step back and can't really contest that Morphling just yet. Bit of presence here in the mid lanes. They trade things out. Darkseer is got Vacuum, but it's only level 1. Not quite enough to pull out some sort of big wombo combo just yet. Does have that mechanism, but I do think he would have a little more work to do before he can really be a big factor in this game. Do you think there'll be a point here where maybe Banner Spirit or PssT rather will be able to make a big play happen here with all of their extra levels?
They will. I'm gonna have to step out for like a second. Hold on.
No problem. Take your time. I can take the reins and take control of this cast myself if I need to. God damn it, we'll do it. Mid lane, they're putting a little bit of extra pressure here. You see from the outskirts, we have Finnith rolling in from the north. They got to be careful and step back, but they got great game sense and awareness. A quick tombstone throwdown to avert any sort of immediate danger here, but they are going to stun them down with the Visage Familiars, but it will not be long enough as the rest of the team rolls in and takes down the tombstone. No problem. Quickly pull out the ultimate, mech up, and reign dominance here in the mid lane, but they're not getting the fight they want to take. About Fiddy, very smart right now, stepping back and creating a lot of space for this Morphling to just quietly farm away here in the top lane and build up all the extra farm. Look how close this man is to his Lincolns. About 14 minutes in Lincolns is a very, very good time. And they're just playing real smart right now. They are creating all the space they want. They are drawing all the attention to the mid lane, forcing them to use some of their extra spells and all their extra momentum, but they're just being such a thorn in the side as well. This Nature's Prophet doing serious work, pushing in the bottom, synergizing nicely with the Morphling up at the top. And I think they're taking real control of this game and making PssT run around in circles, trying to find where they can get a fight going in their favor. And plus, with these wards down, they're not going to be able to have the vision to try to sneak into Roche either. So, good game presence and good state of mind for them. We're going to see how Relic and company here can try to bring it back. Maybe they come together and bring the fight to them, go for their first tier 1. That would be a bad start.
Alright, I'm here. I'm
Welcome
back, boys.
back. No worries, no worries. We were just talking about how pretty much About 350 have full control of this map. You
They're
got
about to do a smoke gang middle here. Tier 2, I think. Yeah, here
they
it goes.
need
They're gonna try
something.
for this
I was
sneak
just
in
talking
Roshan,
about,
probably.
yeah, they need something. They need something going in their favor. This will either be a sneak into the Roshan pit, or they're going to hunt through the jungle. No?
Well, they don't have Slardar, so sneaking into the Roshan's kind of not pointless, but not as good.
Oh, they are hanging on the outskirts here. They say Nayrok. Nayrok's running right into trouble here. Eats the stun and immediately is taken apart. Unmerciful kill on Nayrok. But a quick and easy pick off. The rest of the squad pull back. Throw out a little bit of a tornado here in the mid lane to try to slow them down, but they want a tower. Meanwhile, you have Chicken
That's like
MC
one of
here.
those tactical feeds, you know, where the CM gets... You don't want to waste a smoke for just a CM, and they're not even going to get anything out of this because now they have to just go back and farm the other lanes that are getting split push while their carries are still farming. So they really needed to go for probably Roshan there, and it would have been better.
Yeah, they wasted a lot of time gathering, planning, and plotting out the attack, and it does make a lot of sense when you have a nice shiny car, you're ready to take down the road, and a little bird fucking comes and shits on your window and ruins the whole thing, and that bird being Crystal Maiden. I don't know if that analogy worked out too well, but we'll kind of roll with that one regardless here. Pretty much it's been these three knuckleheads hanging out in the mid lane, just causing a bit of trouble, allowing Morphling to take control of the top, and the Nature's Prophet take control of the bottom. Chicken MC just opting to hang out in the jungle, and when the time fits, he'll go over the lane and push in there. Just kind of a dirty multi-rat style.
Well, Gank's not going to catch him out yet. They still have a little bit more time. They have this word Saul that the Visage is right here. They might wrap around on him. Let the CM lead, but you know there. Darkseer might know.
They know that there's no one on the map. They feel pretty shady about this. There might be someone hanging out in our woods nearby. We'll send Fanasoyan in to scout things out. He's looking in up through the front, using the help of the birds right there to see above and beyond what's happening. It looks like a bit of a commitment here in the top lane. Is all five now for the first time in a while. About 350. Gonna add some pressure to this top tier 2 here. And what do they need to engage? They don't have Finnith with that Blink Dagger just yet. Darkseer doesn't really have much to get in the fight quickly. Do you think that Ban Earthspirit or PssT are going to need About 350 to over-engage and maybe do a bit of a throw and kind of do a counter-initiation? Or do you think they actually have any sort of relative engagement?
If they get the Doom off on... probably I would have to say the Darkseer, because the Slardar still doesn't have a Blink. If they can get it off, the Tombstone should be able to do enough damage where they can zone them out. But in a straight up team fight, yeah, it just depends on probably positioning this right now, and what the Doom gets off in the Tombstone positioning.
All right, we might have another re-engagement here. This has been such a slow and steady, methodical game. Mind you, we only have 4 kills in this game, and we're almost at 20 minutes in. And it might all come down to one big fight that might happen right about here. We have Alchemist. He's pulling out the Chemical Rage, throwing down the Acid Spray. Remember, they have a lot of minus armor on Earthspirit's side. If they manage to catch one down, they can take it apart quickly, but look at all the creeps going to town on the tower. They should be able to take it out with these here, and they get it. No problem. Earthspirit, aka PssT, will step back and hand over the tower with these. Do you just think that ATF's presence is just too strong right now? There's just too big of a presence there that they can't really break through and find the opportunity to catch anyone off?
I mean, they don't even have to do it. Like, they don't even have to do what they're doing. The people who actually have to make something happen are Earthspirit, because they're just gonna keep getting split pushed like they are right now, and it's on them to do something to start a team fight. But it's really hard to get in position when you could get doomed, and that just takes. It's like you get doomed on one of you initiates. It's just gonna go badly.
Ooh, bit of a tussle there in the top lane, but the replicate Morphling pieces out, heads here to the mid lane. They know they have control of this game. They know that they get to set the pace. It all comes down to Earthspirit. If they can finally make something happen and capitalize with the power of the Dark Seer, that wall, that vacuum, they can happen to get a hold of that Morphling and just really try to go to town and get some momentum, maybe some good lockdown with the help of the Familiars and the Slardar. But he's working on right now what I would hope would be a Blink Dagger. Wouldn't you think so? So they have a little bit more initiation going their way? Or do you think he's going to build into something a little more safe and defensive?
He's buying it now, and he's probably going to TP mid immediately, for sure.
They're making a move on the tier 2.
Right, so this might be where it changes. They don't know he has it yet. The Tombstone only has Half-Life 2.
He's hanging far in the back.
He's going to get hit by the Tombstone. He's going to get hit.
He's good. He blinks in now. He got it. Big 3-man crush. They're making a move in with the help of the Ion Shell, but that Doom is doing serious work. Darkseer will end up being taken down right away. Now Finnith trying to make something happen. The Morphling flexing his muscle, runs right in, puts out heavy damage to take down the Visage.
Killed him.
Oh my god. Takes him down right there. Wow.
Oh yeah. I mean, just what happened, like the Doom just doomed the Darkseer, and that's like their only. That's their combo right there, all on Darkseer. So if you just shut down the one hero, it's their combo, their team fight is basically just shut down. So
Darkseer,
too many eggs in one basket, not that great.
He ran in there and he's like, "I'm ready, guys. Hold on, I got something for you." Gets shut down, cock blocked immediately by the 2 with the Doom, and it just all fell apart from there. Now they got a hold of a tier 3. They're looking to peck away at these racks, but they might have to step back. They can't get a little too overconfident and overstay their welcome. They will step back. Darkseer is back in the mix. He does still have that wall available. Wants to finally use it, but look at this. They're making their great escape, but a jump in by Finnith will not catch them, and they all retreat out. Very successful game so far for about 350. You wouldn't know so by looking at the score, but the gold is well over 10K in the favor of the Radiant.
They're doing this Desperate Roshan now. They have a Vlad's now in Alchemist, though. So they have a lot of minus armor, and that's 24 minus armor.
No, they know. That game sense.
It just drops too fast, though.
They had the Sentry, but Sentries, of course, don't give vision, but they do have this ward right here, actually. I just didn't happen to see. They scouted out finally with the Sentry. They know, everyone knows. They can't overcommit. They actually get it down. Do not underestimate the power of the amplified damage. They take down the Roshan. Fanasoyon in a lot of trouble already. Morphling jumps in. He finally gets the wall off. The big freezing field goes for a full duration. They take apart the Visage. Now they're turning it back. Crystal Maiden gets jumped. They're looking to push on through here. Poor Relic on the run, trying to make his way. Nope. Morphling steps right in with the waveform. Makes a 3-man takedown for the 1 support. And this should be Rax.
Yeah, that Tombstone was just down for too long, and they had nothing to deal with it, and just the zombies overran them. I was gonna make a Walking Dead reference, but that would be a spoiler sometimes. People didn't see anything, so.
People take their Walking Dead very seriously, so please don't. All right, I already have enough hate coming this way. Can we just please not do anything like that?
It was with the prison, you know what happened.
Yeah. I get it. Thank you. No spoilers for a lot of people out there. But Walking Dead and Breaking Bad are taken seriously. But enough about those excellent TV shows. Derp's on the run and moves back. The Timstone is finally quickly taken out. Alchemist makes a move on Nayrok. This should be a quick kill of the Crystal Maiden. That big damage from the Soul Assumption does it. Derp can't get away. Finis steps in with a nice slithering crush and stops him from on the way out. It's a mini victory. Not enough to take the game back, but hey, you know what, Ryu? It's something.
You know, I thought that'd actually be a lot more kills than right now. Just,
you know what? The
like,
racks are still standing. They're still there.
Yeah, they're still there. And let's look at this gold graph, though. An EXP. EXP. You should look at the EXP first.
Yes.
And then the gold.
Wow, XP is relatively not far off from each other. Whereas the gold is extremely in the favor right now for about Fiddy, but that's only because they have so many towers. If you haven't noticed, PssT have yet to take their first tower. So that's probably a big reason why. If they get any sort of momentum,
golden tower.
Yeah, if they get any sort of momentum their way, yeah, they'll begin to take down tower after tower and get all that gold. But the thing is, can they get to that point? Can they bust through the door and make it to the point where they can actually comfortably move past this point on their side? That's the big question. You know, they got to get the wombo combo of the Darkseer off, maybe a big stun. I mean, that's typically the bread and butter for this Darkseer Alchemist lineup, is you pull off a great vacuum to get a multiple stun with the Alchemist, but we have yet to see anything like that happen. Is the potential still there, Ryu? Can they make it happen?
I mean, I don't know now, because Morphling just finished his Blade, and Doom's getting more tanky. He's got 23 armor right now. He's got a Blade Mail, even if they want to attack him. And Chicken MC on Furion's going steadily to that
all right,
stick,
boys.
so.
Pull out the casings. We got the shotgun. Morphlin coming in right now. And now with that new waveform ability, he can shoot out the shots while on the run. I'm ready to see this happen right now, Ryu. This is going to be a big deal. We've been talking about Morphling needing those 2 items. Well, 2 items are now acquired as they make a presence here on the mid lane. This can be disastrous if Finn is caught out right here. Slowed down by Nayrok. Crystal Maiden putting in the work right now, but now she might be caught out. That's a big vacuum! Huge wall right now, but Morphling on the outskirts laying down some heavy damage. Darkseer's taken apart, but 2 already fell for about 350. Finnith taken down, but he has that Aegis. They turn it back, take out the Doom, and now they're holding their own. Morphling trying to man up right now, makes a move on Alchemist, but he is stunned down nicely by Finnith. Finnith trapped out by the Sprout, held on his own, can't get away quite yet. Now Morphling will throw out the right clicks, big shotgun shot. He makes a run back behind the racks right now, pushed down below the staircase as Morphling eats a Soul Assumption, but he's holding still relatively strong. He's got a decent amount of stats to work with, and now will begin to pecker away on the racks with the help of Chicken MC. They're holding relatively strong right here.
He has a shotgun. Panasoyon's about to get it.
Oh, nice flop of the link and shoots it right back, but he still lives. That ultimate's not going to save you from a waveform, however, and he's going to pull the eject button and get out of there. Morphling shoots right back to base. A job well done as they get one of the racks down and that extra pickoff right there at the end. Ryu, can you please talk for a bit because my voice is going to blow up on me.
All right, Captain. Let's see. I thought he would for sure the Visage was gonna get imploded there, but it was the Alchemist instead. And yeah, they decided, since okay, well, we tried for the melee racks last time, so we couldn't get it down. Let's just get the range racks, which doesn't have any regen or any armor, and let's just try to get that, boys. And they managed to get that, so that'll help push the mid lane just a little bit. Not as much, not what you wanted, but it's still a little bit. So they're still ahead, and this Morphling's gonna go for a Manta next, and that should be a lot of deeps. But this Viper has an Ags. But
can we just take a moment to shout out Morphling's attire right now? He's not sporting your just kind of default getup. He is dressed up in the full tiara getup, armlets, shoulder pads, the whole 9 yards. This is a man who enjoys playing Morphling, and he's showing it right now. He's been having really great positioning in these last few fights, if I do say so myself. Ryu, would you?
He's had it from like TI2.
Yeah,
so
right?
It's been so sad, like the last year and a half for Morphling. You just
that rare crown.
It's kind of like what happened to Lycanthrope after the first international. He got killed for like 2 years or something.
Yeah. He could still come back. I mean, his Wolves got a little bit of a buff. Not too much, though. He's just like, you have to play him in only one kind of way. You know, it's either you can take control of maybe one of the side lanes or you jungle, and that's it. Where it's
he's,
really
he's
nice
definitely really good. He's like an Ursa. You
He's
can
good in
sneak
pubs,
in
though,
pretty-
you know?
pretty good.
He can be addressed too easily in this competitive scene, you know? They'll address him early in the game, hopefully, if you have proper team coordination. In a pub, however, if you want to see great Lycan play, I suggest you go watch Jiggle Billy play him, because he's been playing him a lot, and he's really good. Quick shout-out to that gentleman. Nayrok getting caught out in the meantime in this bottom jungle area. Fiddy on the run. I'm surprised, man. Earthspirit are breaking enemy territory here. They jump in. They want the Morphling right now. Where's his amp damage? It's finally up. It was on cooldown for that brief moment, but they can't quite commit to it, and they will step back. They're not quite ready to pull out the whole fireworks, the whole synchronized dance of that Darkseer. As he pulls out the mechanism and steps right on back.
Yeah, if he had just amplified him, it would have canceled the Lincoln, so it wouldn't have actually went on him. And he's got 25 armor, which he can be actually using it to break the Lincolns. He actually needs it on him to actually do damage to this Morphling right now.
It's going to take a full team effort to even try to bring down this Morphling at this point. I mean, it's like...
They're going to need to hit that vacuum into like a 4-man stun, probably.
Yeah, get a nice wall on him, and hopefully that his own illusion beats the shit out of himself. That's like the best thing you got
And they
going
have
for
a BKB on the Slardar right now. That's pretty good. So the Doom does counter it, but he can maybe have a little bit free reign. If he gets doomed while Sprint is on in his BKB, he could just run back to base.
I know.
Fine.
I mean, but you're talking about maybe he might be able to get away. We want someone who will be able to bring the pain, and Morphling's doing that right now. Morphling is the one who's like, hey, you want to duke it out? That's fine. I'll wait for him. Dash this way, go that way. Oh, you think you got me? Meanwhile, that was a replicate the whole time. I've been sitting over here in your house. You know, whatever. It's bullcrap. Morphling has got all the tools he needs at this point, and I think it's just going to be too much for them to handle right now. And I think they're just kind of waiting it away. Maybe they can wait out for the new Roshan to pop up. Who knows? Before they actually get together and make something happen. Do you think that will be the case? Do you think that about Fiddy are just kind of waiting for the proper moment to do one of those formal pushes down one of the lanes? Or do you think they're going to kind of continue to rat this out a little bit longer?
It's really their game, either where it stands or even late game, because they have they have one really hard carry and two semi carries that really are amazing late game, Doom and Fury on both. So even if they just sit back here and farm, they're just getting exponentially ahead. So it doesn't matter what they do, they could just wait for the enemy team to be really aggressive and go on them and make a mistake, whereas they don't have to make the mistakes themselves.
Well, it looks like Earthspirit are making quite a move down here. Oh, a little splash of water in your face right there, Finnith. Don't overstep that boundary right there. Just putting him in check.
My river.
Yeah, he's like, don't even think about moving in the river, buddy. I'm just going to slap you in the face. You step back, all right? Just remember who's on this side of the map. And they're all here. They're gathered up. It's like West Side Story right now. They're hanging, hanging on their own side.
There's a ward that scouts them out too right here.
Yeah, they know. They're like, hey, we see ya.
Yeah,
That's cute. Oh, the Doom right away. No, Darkseer immediately taken apart. This is it. This has got to be it. Darkseer immediately buy back, though. This is his last-ditch effort to get back in it. Viper Strike from downtown on the 2, but they're already happy with taking the quick 2-man pickoff and making Darkseer buy back. Very patient right now about Fiddy. Putting on the brakes, making the proper rotation all the way here to the top lane. Normally, a lot of other teams, they would just kind of try to steamroll right through that.
Getting crushed, instantly blew up.
Oh,
and
no.
Then the Viper's going on
Yeah,
the
Crystal Main taking...
out.
Oh, nice vacuum onto 2, but Morphling is not there. Vorpling caught out with a nice stun in the meantime. Big Shiva's Blast right now. Finnith and Morphling, that's what I'm talking about. He jumps to the side to get away, and now he's going ham right now on Relic. Laying out some big heavy damage, briefly sidesteps with the Ethereal Blade. That's a 3-for-2 trade right now, but nope. Now they make it 3 versus 3. Man, that Necro Book doing work. Now Fanasoyon in a bit of trouble here. Derp laying down the heavy zombie fist right now, taking apart the Visage. A buyback by Nature's Prophet rather, which shoots him right back in the base. Now Chicken FC briefly sheeps back the Alchemists, and now they will address this tier 3 tower.
3v2 right now. See what happens. The Alchemist has his stun coming up.
Yeah, but that's it.
Slardar's coming in. I mean, the Morphling does have a little bit of mana. He can't actually do... Can he do a shotgun? 150, 250. He has enough for a shotgun right now, but he didn't do it. He's saving it for a waveform.
Nope, they got what they needed done. They got the tier 3 taken down. A bit of a hindrance there. Meanwhile, already Morphling addressing the mid lane. Wants to try to clean out the rest of the Rex. Can't quite do it with the fortification there. Steps back in. Wants to try to commit on this. Slardar's here now. But I don't know if they can make the move. They won't. They'll hand over the racks. They have to wait for a little more assistance. Darkseer, no wall just yet. He's got 20 more seconds. But I think about Fiddy are going to step back and take their winnings. So good work for them, that fight.
Yeah, those zombies are really overrunning them right now, and kind of Soyeon really tried hard last time. He just put the birds on them and tried to kill it, but it didn't work out, and now they're down 2 sets of axes, and this is gonna be confined to their bases until this last fight, probably, unless they do a smoke out. Is it smoke out time?
I think about Fiddy, the smart thing, if they want to play it super safe like they've been, they should just sneak out this Roche real quick, which they just pinged out right now. They take that Roche and that Aegis, and they run that Lifesaver all the way down the throats of the Dire base and take the game. That would be the smart thing to do. Will they fight, though, and engage this mid lane? It looks like Earthspirit know that might be a valuable option. They're trying to push out the lane so that ATF don't feel too safe around that Roshan pit. Do you think that'd be the smart thing to do? Just go for Roche and then go for the win? Or do you think they're going to try to make
if
a
they
fight
could just
happen?
leave Fury on top right here and just pop your Necro books, pop your Trents, and just like run at the tier, the Raxus top. Actually, the Raxus are still up. That was my bad. But they could just get those 4 heroes into Roshan. All they need really is Morphling plus Doom, and they could take down the Roshan while Fury split pushes.
That looks like it might not be the case. Looks like all of them are going to commit instead to this top lane and try to finish what they started before. All the trees pushing up the top, Tombstone thrown down, and now let the army begin. Nice Visage. Familiars quickly go in and take out the Tombstone properly. They throw down the stun to push back the Morphling. They're trying to hold this hill, but this army of Treants and Creeps are proven to be a bit of a battle here that not even an Acid Spray can slow down. They finally take it all down and they pull back. Maybe now they consider going for Roche. I guess that was just a bit of a footsie play. Are they going to chase this one out
Yeah, they
now?
just pop the Necro books and just get a Rax for it, and they're probably going to wait until this is going to come back up where they go again. I mean, it's smart to play like that. Just get a Rax one at a time and just back out, because they can just farm elsewhere on the map where those 5 heroes were just there, and then Alchemist dies.
Yeah, looks like Alchemist got caught out by this Morphling, who quickly sneaks by, gets the assassination underway, and pieces out. Obviously, he has that Manta completed, all that extra damage and that extra elusive factor. He's going to be a pain in the butt now, moving all about. They finally consider the thought, or the idea rather, of doing this Roshan, it looks like. So I would figure that'd be the appropriate thing to do. Do you think PssT, or Bay and Earthspirit rather, do you think that they would be able to counter this Roshan in any sort of way? Do you think it would be a all-for-nothing play that they should try to consider going for with the Darkseer, or do they just have to wait it out?
In this situation, it's already over, but
yeah,
they really couldn't, because they're stunned. Like, they're stunned to couple up with the vacuum. It wasn't really there.
It took so long really explaining it didn't even matter. They're just like, yeah, we're not doing it, buddy. Don't even worry about it. We're just going to hang in the base.
550 damage.
Yeah, while you take the time to talk about the idea of doing Roche, the Roche is over. So, yeah, nice try. We'll just kind of hang out in the base and wait for them to overstep their boundaries and maybe get off an epic vacuum wall and just pray everything goes according to plan. I think that would be their last option right now.
You should just have your cursor over this Morphling just to see who his next victim is.
I mean, and plus the fact that he's got that mana and all those replicates to work with, it's hard to keep track of him as it is.
I know. Alright, let's see. Who's he gonna one-shot? Let's predict this.
Visage has got actually a good amount of life. I think it's going to be Darkseer. I think they're going to do the same thing.
The Hood of Defiance is actually more than what Visage has. Like,
oh, really?
That Hood is 10 times better. Like, he could actually almost one-shot the Visage, whereas the Darkseer is not as much, just because of that Hood.
He has to know that he is going to be enemy number 1 right now for ATF. I mean, they showed it last time. The second they see him, they will address the Darkseer and try to take him out of the element before he can even make anything happen. But, nope, he does not have a buyback this time, so if they do catch him out, that could be it. That could be a quick and early GG. Morphling already pushing ahead and persevering on. Nice set of damage. He'll be able to get that tier 3 with ease there. And it's just a matter of waiting for the commit. This could be the last play. Fiddy makes a jump in. Nice slithering crush. The stun, the vacuum, the wall. It's all there. Can they take him down? Nope, he's able to quickly jump back behind the wall and lay out the heavy damage. It's 1 for 1 already, but with the help of the Doom, Darkseer will end up falling after he blows his load. Aegis will be popped, but he's going to be quickly
Freon
coming
gets
back.
top Rex in the meantime.
In the meantime, that dirty rat Chicken MC takes out the top racks, as you said right there. Fiddy being caught out, and this looks like the beginning of the end here for Ban Earthspirit. PssT might have to hand over the first game in this best of 3, as Bo3 Fiddy are rolling right through him at about 37 minutes in. They shove them right back in their base and get ready to clean out the remainder of the racks and pull in the Mega Creeps.
Dire's bottom barracks is
Oh, the 2.
And it's gets slow, crushed. Slardar is gonna go down.
Oh, he's blocking
And so
him.
Doom, no.
Those massages are tickling him.
Alright, he's dead.
Oh, man.
Alchemist is dead from behind too.
Yep, that big shotgun shot from behind. Morphling is now godlike. Relic taken down as well by Chicken MC, and that's got to be it. Full 5-man takedown as the rest of the creeps do work, and that's going to be the conclusion of your first game in this best of 3 between Bo3 Fiddy and Ban Earthspirit, aka Pool Sorcery Some Tangos. This was Coddle Guy. We're casting right now over at twitch.tv/Helios eSports, where there's trivia and all sorts of raffle prizes to give away. With me this evening is Ryu Boris. Ryu Boris might be joining me in the next game. We'll figure out how that works out. If that's not the case, why don't you go ahead and let them know what your Twitter is and where they can follow and catch up on what you and eHug is doing.
Well, I've been trying to do events, as you know, but you can follow me at Rivals Dota. That's my Twitter, and stream from time to time. Just watch me on Coddle Guy stream. He's the best streamer, guys. Twitch.tv/Coddle Guy.
Thanks. I'll give you that. I'll give you that $5 after this stream ends. Thanks, man. All right. So you can catch me at Twitter at Coddle Guy as well. We'll go ahead and throw it over to a little bit of music and intermission screen. Show up the brackets right now before we hop into the lobby for Game 2 of this matchup.